You know what's funny, guys, is before I even started a channel, like, I used YouTube like most people did, right? You can't figure something out, you Google it, you find a video, watch it, and it saves a day, right? I've put a couple of those videos out, and honestly, they usually bomb. So there's that. But we're going to try it again. So here's your Tuesday morning tech tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. If I'm being honest, though, I know why they bomb. It's because I'm kind of long-winded, and I just don't get to the point. So let's try that. Working on my 94 C1500, otherwise known as the OBS, and we're changing out the throttle cable. And to be honest, guys, we are getting our ass whipped. There's no videos on it, so I figured maybe I'll make one. We're going to sit down over here on the bench and hopefully come up with a conclusion or something. All right, guys, if you have already watched last week's episode, you probably already know the answer whether this worked or not. But for those of you that haven't and are just here for a how-to, let me show you a couple things. This here is my original throttle cable. And these trucks are kind of known for it. This here starts to bind, and then you're either all or nothing on the gas pedal. And I end up spinning tires all the time, which, not ideal, right? So, this didn't come like this. Obviously, this was like bent like this over time, right? We first started off with this guy. Now, not to badmouth Napa by any stretch, all right? So don't take that the wrong way. They usually got some pretty quality stuff. They don't make their stuff, well, they didn't make this one. That one I can tell you. Because this here, this part number, right, is their part number for this guy, all right? It's made by Pioneer Automotive Industries. And if you look, where's it at? Right here, that part number, right? Just so happens to be exactly the same as that part number. So this is what they made, and this right here, you saw last video, made me very mad. So yes, they might look different coming out of the box, but I assure you they are the same size when you straighten them all out. And it was pretty much ready to work, with the exception of this part. So this here goes on the gas pedal, right? Or accelerator for being, technical. No more binding. Very nice. This here goes by the throttle body. This clips onto the throttle body, and this clips in a little thing they got there. All of this here worked perfectly. This part here worked perfectly. This piece right here, I then tried to modify it, which is probably where I went terribly awry. It's got this little gasket on it, right? You take this off, and I started to file along right here, kind of see, to make this, because it wouldn't go far enough in to clip in. At least that's what I think it was, and now I've messed with it so much I really can't tell. That happens. I'm out $10, guys. Not a huge deal. Maybe, I think it might have been 20. Whatever it was. Looking at the original, which got mangled coming out because it was in there for 30 years, right? So it didn't look like that. There is no gasket, but this was on the firewall. Some kind of sealant that was kind of, maybe it started life as a gasket, but if you notice, it's a lot thinner than the one that's on there, right? I don't know if that's by design or what. So, because of my own doing, I have mangled this guy. So we're done with that. I then invested $12 at Rock Auto and bought it straight from, not really, just a different box, Pioneer Automotive Industries, which there's a lot of reviews on this stuff. If you're into the OBS, there's a lot of groups, right? They say that there was two available on Rock Auto. There was Pioneer, and it was 3 letters. Some company that was 3 letters. It was $10. This one was $12. I said, let's buy the better one. Turns out I bought the exact same one. Actually, when I looked at the receipt from Napa, it said Pioneer on it. So I probably should have realized that. Now, the other one looked identical to this one. much as this one does. Looks exactly the same as the one I just threw across the room. No more binding. That's pretty dope. But if you look at this guy, so you see this is how it looks coming out the box. Okay, this is a little more pliable, and actually, it might actually clip in. And yeah, looking like it may. I don't know. We're gonna find out. If it doesn't, I am not going to modify this. What I'm gonna do is take a page out of GM's book, get me a little bit of silicone of some sort, and schmoo it around there, call it a day. So we're gonna pause right now. I'm gonna go try this and come back, let you know how it works. Well, I was hoping it was a little more pliable and it would just pop right in. Nope, not at all. So I pulled the gasket off and it went in flawlessly without the gasket. Well, not flawlessly. It clipped in, no problem, but it moves all around. Definitely not ideal. And it's a little bit too loose. I don't think a little film of silicone is going to work. So I got another idea. All right, I'm going to go over all this little stuff here so you can kind of see where my brain's at. This gasket here is what I peeled off the firewall from the original stuff. Rather thin. Like I said, almost just looks like some sealant that was glued in there, but it's a little more than that. This here is what comes when you buy the replacement one. See, it's got like a little ridge in here. Can you see that? Let me see. Yeah, you can see that, right? Well, what I did with this guy, because I have extra parts now that I've been buying all these things. This is, you can see it on there where I just carved off that ending, right? She's now pretty thin. Here's the pieces I got off. This is the tool that we use. I mean, very professional setup we got here. So, I've got the other one pulled out. Let's install this and see if this works. Guys, I really thought I nailed it on that one. It felt like it was so close and it just wouldn't pop in. I kept shaving more off, and well, let me show you what happened. Well, guys, see, I kept shaving more and more stuff off, and eventually, yeah, we snagged it. And we'll never know if that worked. Yeah, well, actually, we do know. It didn't work. All right, so you may have noticed in that last little clip, the spot I had marked new was blank, right? That's because it's in the truck. Let me tell you how. You might also notice, new day, I got super frustrated last night, and I did the best thing I could have done. I walked away, right? It is a simple job. This should not be this tough, and it was really getting me mad. So walked away, hit up a couple buddies, and asked for some help. I also looked everywhere online, couldn't find anything. I jumped in a couple groups, asked a question. I got a lot of thumbs up, but no help whatsoever. So I assume I'm the only guy that had this problem. It's ridiculous to assume that, but I guess that's what's up. Anyways, when I talked to old Wade, he's like, dude, go up to the house, chill with the wife. I'll come over in the morning, and we'll see if we can figure it out. He did, and his idea was maybe we just need to put some more manpower on this, right? So I was under the hood pushing on this thing as hard as I could. He pulled in from the inside, and then those tabs with those screwdrivers, and got them in place. It didn't go quite that easy. We were both getting after it to get it done. It should not go that way. I mean, it worked, but it shouldn't, right? I believe there's a little bit of engineering that needs to go into this replacement cable because I think it's a little off. We're finding that with a lot of parts nowadays, and I think this is no different. So Kevin's idea was equally as good, and I think would have worked just as well, especially had I been in the shop alone. He suggested taking like a fender shim or something, or maybe like elongating the hole of a washer so you can slide it in there. Since it was able to clip in and stay in place while it moved, but stay in there, locked in to the firewall, that I should take a shim, put it in there like that, take a shim and put that in there to keep it tight so it doesn't move around. and then seal it up with some silicone or something like that, which is a lot better than my idea of just throwing silicone in there and hoping for the best. And I think it would have worked. It's just this worked, and we didn't need to do that. So, what do they say? More than one way to skin a cat. Guys, this is something that we're dealing with a lot in the automotive, not just automotive, but that's what I mess with. So, you know, a lot of hot rod stuff, all that stuff. We're getting crap metals, so cams are going flat. We're getting parts that don't exactly fit, so we gotta make it work. Trying to get frustrated. Look for help. The internet usually helps out a little bit. In this case, it didn't. Hopefully this video helps somebody. And, well, that's the whole reason behind it, right? Thanks for watching, guys.